Okay, post-editing Mur here. I get really ranty in this video in particular. I know that's my whole thing, but I think I get a lot more heated than I usually do, so I apologize in advance if I stray off topic and tangent a lot in this. Alright, I'm clarifying this now. You don't have to like every person on the internet. I personally have had no opinion on Boyfish before and after this. While there are some valid criticisms of his character, things like the previous trigger warnings being a little bit too short given the eye strain in his videos, and some of his previous questionable reposts, a lot of the visceral hatred he's received online is ridiculous and is more rooted in people's distaste for his art style than anything else he may have done. And that's a very common thing on ArtTok, where instead of actually focusing on the problems that may come up with a content creator, they instead focus on the more base level things like appearances or generally art styles, and I think that's one of the default reasons why people dislike Boyfish a lot. Very recently, somebody made a really weird fetish video with Boyfish's persona. Oh my gosh, it is really weird to be making fetish content of another person's character just because you feel that their characters are fetishy. And I won't disagree that there aren't some suggestive things that Boyfish animates from time to time where they make very suggestive animation memes, and that's nothing new to the community. There are a lot of them, but just the manner of this video was just so disturbing because Boyfish is 14 years old, and for you to be making really weird fetish parodies of someone else's character just because you don't like them is so weird. By doing this, you are no better, and this isn't like a haha gotcha type of moment. It's baffling to me that someone can dislike a person enough to tween this. Also, if you look at the entire speed paint that this person made, they also had a penis layer. And I think it should be common sense not to be making fetish content of a 14-year-old because you don't like them. I think in general, people are way too comfortable with harassing other members of the community. I feel like this would be very different if it was a very large content creator who, very rarely interacts with the community. But Boyfish still likely sees 90% of the shit that people say online. At a young age like that, it is very scary to have that many eyes on you and what you're doing all of the time. Again, I repeat this, a lot of the hatred towards Boyfish is not for anything that they may have done that could be potentially problematic, but mostly rooted in the fact that people just don't like their art style. It's very base level. The actual fetish video is just absolutely disgusting. I don't understand how someone can hate another artist enough to go out of their way to make this, because tweening does take time. I've talked about this time and time again. Tweening is not as simple as a lot of people tend to discourse about when it comes to frame by frame and tweening. So somebody went out of their way to make all the layers. You can find the speed paint that this creator did to disprove that it was AI, which is still really weird, by the way. You making this makes this even more nasty. And I guess to the person who made this, you are absolutely filthy, and the comments that you've made are indicative of your morality. Why would you ever make this? Why? I don't get it. It's unsurprising to me that the animation meme community and just the art community on TikTok is so messed up to this level, because there's been multiple discourses I've talked about on there when it comes to the way people treat art styles that are different than what is usually put out on ArtTok. This is something that would have absolutely happened years ago in the community and nobody would have batted an eye. And I'm very glad that people are talking about this now and kind of calling it out, because it is so weird to dislike someone to this degree. Post it to the internet. Again, I have no opinion on Boyfish and the things that he creates, his persona, whatever he posts. A lot of people say that his content is fetish content, and I feel like in general the word fetish has been very diluted as of recently on TikTok in general. I don't really understand the thought process here of saying that, oh, Boyfish makes fetish content and then proceeding to make very overt fetish parody content of their persona while they are a minor. If anything, I feel really bad for Boyfish again, because being a large platform on the internet, especially at a young age, can really mess you up in the long run. This isn't something new to the community. It's happened time and time again, and we've seen the effects on being a large artist in the community and how that progressed into much more disturbing topics. Again, why would you make this? I just kind of wanted to talk about this because I remember seeing it stumble on my For You page, and while I am very grateful that people are calling this out, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. I don't think people should be comfortable on the internet to this degree to be making this type of content of another person's persona. Even if they weren't 14, it's still really weird. I'm not really sure how to end this. I feel like we as a community should have definitely moved past this and matured to the point of saying, hey, you know, disliking a random content creator on TikTok for their art style enough to make fetish content of their persona is weird and you shouldn't do that, is something that would have crossed the mind of people. But, you know, it's very clear that the original creator of this has no reservations in what they did and is still, I think, defending themselves in the comments last I checked, or at least liking comments that supports them. I don't think the person who made this is ever going to see this, but you are fucking weird, dude. But yeah, sorry. That was very, very ranty. It's just very upsetting because, you know, I can't fathom being in the position Boyfish is right now. But, you know, I'm not really sure what discussion would be on this topic. I'm not really going into depth on anything. That's all.